Well, glad everybody's here. Full house. We kind of do this every year, so this is nothing new. It's just a little bit, our season didn't go as we thought, and it happened a little bit later than normal. Usually we'd like to be playing, but we weren't, and one of those things. This season in general was good in some ways and bad in others. You know, we thought we'd have a better winning percentage. We thought we'd play a little better. We didn't think there'd be bumps in the roads like we had with injuries, with Arthur getting hurt in Charleston and Cullen going down for the season, and then Jordan having a whole season of injuries and not getting healthy. But all in all, I think the biggest thing was our guys really gave great effort. I think our younger guys and our new guys really improved. I think they bought into the system. I think they bought into the program. I think we got a lot of great things that came out of this year. And I think they've got to work already in the off season. We can't do anything with them until after the Final Four as coaches, but they've spent a lot of time in here. They're doing a lot of stuff in the weight room on their own. I had great meetings with them, great individual meetings with each player. So it was really, really good. You know, I think the future's bright. I think we're real excited about it. And we would have liked to done a lot better. So I'm excited to get started for next year. You know, we're still out recruiting. The only thing that's come out of the meetings that we will have one guy that is going to leave, and that's Arthur Edwards. He's going to graduate, and then he's going to explore a fifth year where he can go play somewhere and be somewhere where he can play a lot more. That was a mutual decision, and he did everything I've asked him to do. He had great opportunities here to play. He's a great kid. He really matured. He did a great job in the classroom, and he's going to be another kid that we graduated. So everybody else will be back, and then we got our three freshmen coming in that we're excited about. Two of them will be here in June, and one of them will be here in July. So it's one of those situations that we wish Arthur well. He did a lot of great things for us, and he's the one that's not going to be with us anymore. I wanted to go through the schedule for next year since I got contracts signed. We do have a home game with Rice that's a bye game. We got to go to USC as a away game, return that game. We're going to play Northern Iowa in the pit. They're going to come here and play us, and then we're going to go play Purdue at Purdue. And then we have some other games that are working with right now. We got 3 more games to get, and then we have the Diamond Head Classic with Northern Iowa being that, BYU, Oklahoma, Hawaii, Auburn, of course us, Harvard, and Washington State, which will be a great tournament. So really excited about our schedule. You got New Mexico State twice also, which is always a great game for us here and there. It'll continue to be a great rivalry. We enjoy that competition with them and being in state, and they had a great year this year. But our schedule's shaping up, excited about it, and I think our kids will be excited about it, and it'll give us a great challenge. Well, I think that's just in general. We're just recruiting. We've been out to see guys that are coming here, and then we've been out to see some kids, and a lot of them in 16. And then the live period opens up April 9th, and we'll be out. All 4 of us will be out. And then there's a dead weekend, and then the third weekend of April there's another live period. So it'll be, I think it's Friday the 9th, Saturday and Sunday is a live period with evaluations. That's the AAU tournaments and AAU programs. And then there's a dead weekend the following weekend, and then I think the last weekend of April there's another live period. We'll start Friday through Sunday.
The meetings you have with players, obviously anything can change at any point
right.
between now and the start of the semester next year.
Right.
How confident are you that the dust is settled, that Arthur will be the only guy, or are there other guys that still might be on the fence?
As of right now, there's none. Those meetings are basically to go over their academics, where they are graduation rate, graduation-wise, keeping them on schedule, what they need to do in the summer. And then it basically goes on what I got to see. My first question with them in individual meetings is just, how did you think your season went? And then I listen. and then I ask them, and then I ask them some questions, and I tell them what I think, and then we come to understanding on what they need to work on, what they need to get better at, and where they have to go academically, and what their summer plans are.
How many of those players surprised you with how they thought their season went compared to how you thought?
I think they're very realistic. I thought they were very mature for new guys that thought that we'd have a better year. I thought our young guys were really good. I think they understand. I think that, let's don't take away what Hugh and Didi's done for this program. Hugh, a 4-year guy, and Didi, a 2-year guy. I think those guys really spent a lot of time with him late in the year, so that they know what to expect and how to carry themselves as Lobos, because it's a special place. We've developed a culture here, and it's like I told them. I said losing is not acceptable, and I think they understand that. And we'll continue to work every day and get better, and I think they understand that. But all in all, they were really good.
You went over the players. Any coaching changes that you foresee, or is that not decided yet?
Well, I think there's some opportunities for some guys. I don't know. There's some job openings. I think there'll be other. There's some other opportunities for guys. I think Lamont will have a situation where I think he might be able to get involved with a head coaching job, but we'll wait and see. But as of right now, everybody will be back.
As far as Jordan goes, do you anticipate that he might redshirt next season?
Well, I think right now he's in a boot. So he was in a splint, non-weight bearing for 2 weeks. Now he's in a boot, and he'll be in that for a month, and then he'll be reevaluated. So, he's got a ways to go. He should be able to get back. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to figure out the dates. I think he'll be able to get back to running in June. So it's a lot of time. It's more than we had him last year. Last year he wasn't able to do anything till the 2nd or 3rd week in August. I'm the coach in New Mexico, and I plan to be here a long time. I hope it's my last coaching stop. I like it here. I got great bosses. My son plays here. My other son goes to school here. I'm committed to be here, so I'm the coach here.
Is that a drag? All that stuff?
I don't think it's a drag. I think it's just, it's like this. It's like last year when we had coaching changes, everybody thought that it was just because of our changeover and the program changing. That's just a credit to your program. When Craig Snow goes to become a head coach, which he's always wanted to become, and we helped him facilitate that, that's a credit to the program. With Mike going back east where he's from and getting an assistant job instead of being an ops guy, that's a credit to your program. If somebody leaves this year and they get a better opportunity, that's a credit to your program. That's what you've done, the longevity and success of our program, and that's got to be a positive. And the thing with my name being out there, it's better than not being talked about, but I'm the coach here, and I love it here. And I have plans. It's like I said, this is my first job, and hopefully it's my last job.
Is the Northern Iowa game part of the Missouri Valley?
What happens is that's going to be the exempt game. Our exempt game in the Hawaii, remember we've tried to do that in the past where we've tried to get that 4th game that doesn't count against you. That's going to be part of that. Nothing's been announced about that challenge. But the Northern Iowa we're bringing them to be a part of that exempt situation.
Are you going to return that one, did you say?
No. Purdue's a bye game. We're going to go there. They're buying us. We're going to go play there. Got a lot of roots in Indiana and want to go back there and play. They got a really good team. Northern Iowa's got a really good team, just trying to increase our schedule and also, challenge our guys a little bit, try to win some games on the road.
Earlier this year, you made a comment for various reasons that you thought last year's coaching job was tougher, more difficult, however the word used, than this season. Now that this year is over, you still kind of feel that way, or is this tougher this year?
Well, when you don't win, it's tough, and you don't reach some expectations that you had, and you've had a program that's won at a big clip. I mean, we've won a lot of games here, a lot of championships, but a lot of wins, and that was the tough part of it. I think the 27-7 team was hard because it was my first job, but I had a lot of different moving parts, a lot of different guys that had dominant attitudes, dominant personalities that I had to manage a lot more than I did this year. When you have a young group, they're just trying to fill out where they fit, what they do. There's not a lot of dominating personalities. But we had some great and fun personalities in that 27 and 7 team, and all those guys went on to great success, and that's what it's about. You're trying to mentor young men and take them through this program so they can have success outside of here. This year, we had a lot of young guys, a lot of guys that haven't played in roles that they're not accustomed to, so not as much personality conflicts or trying to deal with that I had the first year.
So how do you see next year's team being different?
Well, I think next year's team will have a lot more guys to play. You know, one thing we have to improve on, and I think we've noticed that over the years. If you look at our stats over the last 6 or 7 years, our shooting percentages, and you look at it from a stat perspective, we've got to improve our shooting. And I think we've you know, pinpointed that. We've really recruited that, and I think we have a lot of good shooters coming in, and hopefully they'll be able to shoot the ball. And that's a need that we've kind of taken care of. And then with Cullen coming back, and I think he learned a lot by sitting there and watching, and he got bigger and he got stronger, and you know he's going to have a lot to do. But even the guys coming in as freshmen are going to have a lot to do. But I think Devin, Sam, X, Joe, I think them getting valuable minutes, and even Jordan, even though he was hurt, that's really going to help because they were put in a role that they weren't used to, and kind of put them out of their comfort zone, and now they're used to it. And I think Big O got really good late in the year. I thought he really improved, and that's kind of where we saw him going, but maybe a little sooner than we expected because, you know, we thought we were going to have Alex back, but that's not an excuse. It's just that's what happens.
Coach, how much did you learn from being stretched this year, your second year as a head coach?
Well, I think I learned a little bit about the program. I think I learned a lot about myself. I think I learned about, you know, the one thing that you have to realize in this position, in any college coach, you're a teacher first. And, you know, we did a lot of teaching this year, a lot of learning. And then during the game, you got to coach them. And you try to push the right buttons, and sometimes it doesn't work. But, you know, we'll continue to work on that. And, you know, I feel really comfortable about the program. I feel really comfortable where we're trying to go, and, you know, excited about it.
They asked you about the coaching stuff about you. There's been other coaching changes, part of the game. You know a lot of these guys. I want to ask for a comment on Mark Price and Musselman. Musselman being in the league, but Price being an old friend.
Yeah, Mark called me yesterday right before he took the job, and he's just looking for anybody that I knew that could be good assistants. So, you know, he'll be a great coach. Dad was a coach. He's been a long-time floor general. He'll be a great coach. He's got a unique situation because his son's playing at TCU, and my whole thing was kidding him. I was going, "Is Hudson going to come play with you?" And he said, "That's something we have to talk about later." So, but he's had a good career at TCU. But and then Musselman, I played for him, so that'll be unique to see him on the other sideline, and I played for him for 2 years in the CBA, and we had excellent teams. I think one year we were 42-10, and the other year we were 40-12, and went to the championship series. And he's an excellent coach, and he's been a good friend of mine for a long time. And his dad was a very good coach, and he'll definitely help the league.
Was that at Fort Wayne?
No, it was in Rapid City.
Rapid City.
Yeah, Rapid City. I spent 2 years in Rapid City, South Dakota.
What do you think about the discussion of the shot clock change?
I think it'll change. I think the unique thing about I think our game's got to get to where it's a universal game. I think everybody's kind of went from us, that being the United States, and now with FIBA and all the European, they play 24-second shot clock even when the kids are 13, 14, 15. Like Cam and Hugh, they grew up playing 24-second shot clock. You know, I think it will help with scoring. I think it'll make the game a little bit faster. I can see them. I know they're experimenting in the NIT game with 30 seconds, and I can see them going to that. I think that discussion will take place. We have a head coaches meeting Friday, the Final Four. I think that'll be discussed there. But I think a lot of guys are in favor of the 30. I would be in favor of it, and I think there's a lot of guys in favor of 24. But, you know, I can see it going to 30.
Any other changes, Coach, other than the shot clock that you'd like to see implemented?
Well, I think one of the things that really was hard this year is they changed the block charge rule, and I think they're experimenting with a wider circle like the NBA, what they're doing in the NIT. I think it should go to that. I think they had the officials call it one way, where if they were on the ground and they haven't started their motion, then it's a charge. This year they kind of changed it back to the old way, and I think a lot of them got confused from last year. So I don't think it was consistent. But, that's something I know they work really hard on, and they do a good job, and they try to do the best they can. But I think that'll be addressed. But other than that, I think our games, the thing that I think that they're going to talk about is the physicality that happens late in the year instead of, what they've talked about, hands off and allowing freedom of movement. That gets a little bit different late in the year.
You mentioned the Final Four weekend. From a coach's perspective, sometimes it's a job fair for those guys. Sometimes it's catch up with old
It's a
friends.
job fair.
Yeah. I mean, what's it like from your perspective? Going through the situation?
It'll be good for me because it's back in Indiana this year. I go in on Thursday and spend a lot of time with people, and I got a couple Nike obligations that I have to do and meetings I have to do with that, and then catch up with some people and see a lot of people at the head coaches meeting and see what they're talking about as far as what they're trying to do with our game, what they're trying to do with the conferences and stuff like that. So it's good that way, and then basically you just spend a lot of time seeing people, and I'll try to stay out of the way this year and get out of there as soon as I can.
With the changes in the summer, when you can work with the players and you talk to them and give them some goals, do you really find out kind of what a player is all about in the summer?
Well, I think the biggest thing, JJ, and you made a great point, I think Hugh said that in this article, I think we do a really good job of player development here. But I think a lot of our player development is what we taught them and what they did off the floor without us. It's like my biggest thing with our guys, and I tell them it all the time, it's who they are when I'm not looking. How they carry themselves, how they act in the community, their character, their integrity when I'm not around. That's what we try to teach them the most. But a lot of them, I think this year some of the guys that came in and some of the guys that were coming back thought that they were going to put that jersey on and they were going to be fine. I think they've realized they got to put the work in that they've already started. So they're going to have to do a lot of work on their own, and then we'll do a lot. It's unique this year because we're out of school early, May 8th. So the last week before May 8th, we can't work with them. So we're only going to have 3 weeks with them, and that's 2 hours a week, so you're only going to get 6 hours with them. So we'll do the first week, we'll do a lot of team stuff, get them ready, try to get them prepared on what we're going to go over in the summer. And then the last 2 weeks will be a lot of individual stuff, teaching them what they need to work on, and that's individually based by each player.
As far as recruiting, how do you, are you finding some of your needs? What are some of those needs?
Well, the 2016 needs, I can't talk specifically about players. We've already got a commitment from one. We're going to have to replace some bigs. Our only seniors are going to be JJ and Jordan. So we'll have to do that need, and I think we'll have one. I think there's one. The only other thing is we have an opportunity, and I think that it's going to happen. We got a chance to get a fifth-year senior that will come here, but he'll come here as a walk-on. So that's the only roster situation we could have, and he's a really good player. But he'll come here as a walk-on, but he'll be a fifth-year senior where he's graduated where he is and come in.
How do you see Sam's role next year? I mean, he's a guy who really had some productive minutes.
Yeah, I thought he had a really good year. I think Sam really improved with his shooting. I think he spent a lot of time on his shooting, and my biggest thing is don't take away from the rest of your other game. I think he's really strong. He can get in the paint. He can create off the dribble. My thing with Sam is, like I told him, I said you should be one of the best defenders in the league because of your body and how physical you are and how athletic. So my goal, I just challenged him in that you got to get better defensively and be a defensive guy where you can stop people, and then he's got to continue to evolve as an offensive player. and he's one of those kids that we got late, and we really didn't have June and July. And I'm looking forward to having him for June and July this year because they can work our camps, which I think is great for our community because they get to spend a lot of time with the kids that come to camp, and then we can spend time with them while they're at camp and work with them. And you know, he's got a very bright future. We're very fortunate to get somebody of his caliber that late that came in and ended up starting a lot for us.
Just to clarify on the schedule, do you have dates on any of those?
I know the Diamondbacks in Christmas. I know Rice is on the 19th. Purdue's in December sometime. We're still working on all those dates.
The exam does have to be within 2 weeks, or is it 1 week?
14 days.
14 days.
Yeah, 14 days. Should be a good game. Good home game.
So are there any open dates you're still in?
We got 3 more games. Yeah. And it's a lot farther along than we've ever been. But right now, if you look at our schedule, I think it's very good. And I think, you know, we did some things where we're going to play, you know, we have USC on the road, Purdue on the road, and then the Diamond Head that's in Honolulu. It'll be a great challenge for our guys. Everybody good? Appreciate y'all. Thanks.